The Nollywood feat is from Biafrans. I conducted the first audition of Living Bondage for Chief Kenneth Nnebwe, the man from Umbidi, who was selling Yoruba movies. Then decided to do a movie in Igbo, but he didn't know anybody Igbo actor. He now saw me on NTA network of Zeb Jiro's Ripples. Now Zeb, after Things Fall Apart, we did in 85, 86. I wrote my own soap opera, The Advocate. NTA Enugu told me they didn't have the money and they didn't have enough lawyers for the legal undertone, that I should go to Lagos. They gave me NTA letterheaded note. As I went to NTA network, Victoria Land, Zeb came with Ripples, you know. But Zeb knew better than me how to wangle your way in Lagos. So before we knew it, the management approved his own soap opera, the Ripples. Then my own was lingering. So I went to him to beg for a role. He gave me the character Chiwetalu and told me, in speaking English, infuse Igbo language. The Igbo language was what I was infusing, that Chief Kenneth Nnebwe at his office at Additional Suite Ijesha, Lagos, saw and sent for me. When I came to his office, he said, I market the Yoruba movies, but I want to do in Igbo. Now, I don't know who is Igbo, but I've seen you speak Igbo. Therefore, you'll be able to organize the Igbo actors for me. Yes. Someone like Kenneth Okonkwo was coming to NTA like we were coming. This is Zebejiro Ripples. It was done every Wednesday in the week. I was a major character. Kepi Epenyong was a major character. Barbara Soki was a major character. But Kenneth was made a character that will be coming when Barbara and Kepi will have discord. So Kenneth Okonkwo, as a friend of the family, will come to mediate. You know. So I was told the story of living in bondage, a young man contented with his wife, but got greedy at a point, then wanted to do money ritual and all that, and so on and so forth. You know. So I did the audition for 5 days, Monday to a Friday, with a drama sketch I drew, got my tentative cast, and told the proprietor, Chief Kenneth Nnebwe, who now said he will travel to Japan, stay 3 days. That he had made pre-booking. If he traveled today, tomorrow he will package, then the third day he will return. We will begin living in bondage. But after 3 days, after 1 week, after 2 weeks, we didn't see him. So I traveled from Lagos to Enugu for the first time to see my people, to go back. So while I was in Enugu, he returned from, he said he will go to Japan. He now returned from Japan. After returning from Japan, they went to where I was squatting, number 1 Karunwi Avenue, Itire, Ijesha, close to Lawansin. You know, he sent his PAs to that place on a Monday, on a Wednesday, on a Friday. He didn't see me. A new group now.
No telephone like
yeah. A new group now came to help him out, comprising people like Chiwetalu Agu, alias Apollo, Dan Olibo, alias a chief priest. We had Francis Zagu from Enugu here, who died later. Then we had Sydney Diala, who is now, I think, into pastoral work or something. So they now lifted this thing from where I stopped. They went to location on a Saturday. I returned on a Sunday. Now, the character he reserved for me, Chief Omego, was now given to KOK. You know, that was the story about my participation in the living bondage.
How did you feel when you saw that production continued?
This man talking with you here is a professional. Nothing begins and stops like that. Okay. The horizon was very clear. See, I'm a product of addicted viewers of Anambra Television, Channel 50, opened by Jim Wobodo. Because the programs he was bringing abroad was showcasing to me a future where I'll be a millionaire. I was patiently following everything. And in those programs, I was watching people like Bill Cosby. Till tomorrow is a billionaire in America. There I was watching Sanford and Sons, you know, wonderful comedians. Then I was watching the dancing program, Don Connolly's show.
Soul Train.
Soul Train. Yes. Was in Don Connolly's show, Soul Train. It was where all the American music stars were always assembled. But what is his name again? That said when he came to Nigeria during the interview that he trained Michael Jackson in the moon dance.
That's Jeffrey Daniels.
Jeffrey Daniels.
Of Shalama.
Of Shalama. Who even said when he was asked what greatest gift would you like Nigerians to give you? He said the one you say Igwe, you know. So those programs I was watching in those early days made me to believe that if you lose this one, the other one was waiting for you.
Okay.
From there we went to Taboo.
Yeah,
where
I wanted to talk about Taboo because actually my major encounter with you in Nollywood was from Taboo, and that's up to today. That name has stuck. Chiwetalu Agu.
Chiwetalu Agu. Igwe Jenga.
So when Taboo came out, you know, your role was a mid-level role, but you made it to stand out. You know, what happened? Tell us about your experience, you know, with Taboo. And it's a very nostalgic production for us.
Yes, yes.
Seeing you, Chiwetalu Agu, the one man that would disrupt the meetings of Umunna who were being corrupt.
Exactly.
Umunna who were being, you know, the perpetrators of injustice.
Correct.
Only Chiwetalu Agu was the only one who could stand up and disperse everybody with his mouth, with his character, and with everything. How do you relate with that character?
I was happy and lucky to work with one movie director of note, Chris Obirapo. Chris Obirapo. He directed Taboo, because when we were looking for a director for Living Bondage, since I was almost a notable guest in NTA Lagos, I was always in Porter Cabin 9, where Chris had office. Some other people in programs directorate at their office. You know, because the vetting of my script started from there. Before I passed through, but the first person I met in NTA when I came with my soap opera, The Advocate, was the director of programs, Dr. Victoria Zokoli, who passed on my script to Lai Arosome, our production manager in Things Fall Apart.
His son was my schoolmate in uniform.
Okay, it's late now.
It's late now,
Then my script also was passing through Lost Guavo, Chief Mrs. Kodoli Eke, and then eventually with Andy Emenechi. You know. So, Chris Obirapo I met became a wonderful person who could see the talent embedded in you and tap it. After all, the Chiwetalu Agu character was not the major character.
It was.
If you talk about the major characters, you talk about the Igwe of Taboo, even the 3 wives, and so on and so forth. But the thing about comedy or comic relief can sweep away every other character.
Especially in the intermittence, as it comes intermittently.
Good. So the writer said that Chiwetalu Agu will say that what the Igwe did, that is by rejecting an Osu. No. Osu, the person in the class of Osu came to marry the daughter. Rosemary, that was played by Rosemary Hona, and Kenneth Okonkwo played the suitor, Osu. So he said, the writer in the script put there, what the Igwe did was opprobrious. Opprobrious. So the director, Chris Obirapo, told me to play on that word, play on it repeatedly, you know. So when we were discussing now our potential of victory in court, he told me to say, once our lawyer speaks opprobrious, we will win the case. So that I should say, Uprogini. I fell in love with that word to the extent of repeating it. Uprogini. Ojazianga noba inyomie. Ononanga na body inyomie. You know, it swept up this every other segment element of that taboo came to be submerged under this comic relief. You know,
we're always looking for the scene involving Ichiogu for the meetings. And when the meeting is holding, if Ichiogu has not spoken, in fact, we'll be anticipating.
Anticipating. You know, that once he spoke now, the roof will be pulled down in laughter. That Chris is still around because I see him in social media. Like every time he wants to celebrate his birthday, I will be one of the first to send the messages. He's still there, and I'm begging him, come back to Nollywood. Let's revive it the way it used to be. Well, at that time, any movie we came out with, people will leave even the swallow they want to put in the mouth and hang it to watch us.
You know, let's come to this thing that has also gone on to put you at a class Nollywood legend or even actor, actress is, as in
the impact.
You are noted to have come up with expressions, unique expressions, uncountable, that once somebody begins a line, some other person will complete it. How did that thing come about? Because I knew that, okay, those things you were saying, were they given to you by the production as in the script, or you just come up with, you know, like Chiwetalu, that one, and you know, some of those expressions. How did it start?
As time went on, after Living Bondage, Taboo, we did many others, like a Frame Up,
Frame Up,
Evil Money, and so on and so forth. I found out that our writers were always lacking in one thing. Was in writing a book or drama, 3 points stand out. First of all, education. Secondly, information. Then the other one was rare to be employed by our writers, which is entertainment. Any writer of work of arts, you don't employ these 3 elements, you're not complete.
It's true.
So my findings were that if I look at scripts, you will see emptiness in terms of entertainment. Like in the case of Taboo, the story Taboo, the pivot was the Usuka system.
Yeah, it was very strong.
That was the crux of the matter.
Very controversial and sensitive.
So somebody like me could consider Osu story always makes a segment of society very unhappy. Very unhappy to the extent of wanting to cry. Because the thing being discussed that is disfavoring you is a segregation. That you could rise in society financially, but when it comes for a chieftaincy title, it will be denied you because you're an Osu, segregated against. So I said, in such stories, that a character like a Chiwetalu could still devise a way that people could still laugh and enjoy it, even though you are Osu, you know. So I decided now to be creating comic relief. See, the things I say, no writer can write it, because they are not only ingenious, but they are not easy for any writer to. Okay, which writer can write Allah? They know. Now, which writer can write Ikem Panaka Anyawa? How can a writer pick his pen and write Ikem Panaka Anyawa? How can a writer write it doesn't matter, a matter no matter? How can a writer write emergency? I go emergency. It's not possible. So they leave those areas for me to fill up in any script I'm giving, and I always trust in that anything I say will fill the gap.